Today I'll be presenting about OpenStreetMap-NG, and the title of the talk is like building a better map for everyone. I hope you are at least somewhat familiar with the name OpenStreetMap, and if that's the case, then that's a perfect presentation for you. Maybe you'll be interested in what's hopefully coming in the future. So I will introduce myself because, so my name is Kamil Monicz, I'm from Poland, and my nickname on the internet is usually in the Polish Zaczero, but in English it's Zaczero. And I'm basically hardcore Python developer, means that when I was young, my parents told me that I shouldn't sit so much on the computer, I should live in the real world. But I decided at some point, no, I will live in the computer, and I'm living in my computer. So I sleep for 10 hours, and then I compute for 10 hours. So that's, you know me. And I really love working. When I don't work for a few days, then I start feeling weird, and I have workaholism. I drink Coca-Cola Zero and Pepsi Max, and I like free software and horses. So hopefully that's all you have to know about me. And I have prepared some photos because Marcin told me I need some photos. So this is photo of horse Nilo and photo of horse Pedro. They are Arabian horses. It's okay. It's only for the live stream. So audio. Okay. So I will try to speak louder a little bit. Yeah. So okay. So what is OpenStreetMap-NG? It's a complete Python reimplementation plus of the OpenStreetMap platform. Plus means that it's not simply reimplementation, but also there is so much new stuff that people wanted for years that is finally coming to OpenStreetMap-NG. And this is initiative started by me. This is not like some official organization. I'm just a normal guy, normal like you, and I just like OpenStreetMap. And I decided to do it in late 2023. That's when the idea was started, and I've been working on it really hard. And today it's in a really good state that I'm really excited to show it to you. This is the most technical slide of everything. And I promise that after this slide, it will be only like no technical stuff. Because there are a few reasons why I'm making OpenStreetMap-NG. The first reason is being developers. I really care about the development experience. And so maybe the most burning issue that I see with the existing platform is that to realistically contribute to the OpenStreetMap, you have to good knowledge about both Ruby and C++ programming languages. That's a very high barrier to entry. The reason for that is that at some point, OpenStreetMap maintainers realized that Ruby is too slow, and they implemented parts of the system in C++. And the issue is that there are two systems that have to be kept in synchronization. So when you contribute to OpenStreetMap API, you have to contribute in two languages. So that's something I'm trying to fix, because in OpenStreetMap-NG, everything is in Python. Another big change is that OpenStreetMap currently is quite monolithic. When you change one thing, you have to change a few other things. And OpenStreetMap-NG approaches it in a much more modular approach that you can basically swap different components. You can easily experiment with new features. You can change basically everything. And it's very fast to iterate. When you first start contributing to OpenStreetMap, the website, there is a quite complex instructions what you need to do. You have to install several applications. You have to several steps. There's a complete guide. In OpenStreetMap-NG, you have to install one application that is being the Nix, and you have to run one command that is Nix shell run, and then you type dev start and run. And then this will initialize your services. This is the dev start, and then it will start the website itself. So if you want to get started, it's very, very simple. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Another big point is that OpenStreetMap currently, when you start contributing to it locally, has no real testing data. In OpenStreetMap-NG, there is a command that will download real OpenStreetMap data, and it will load it to your local database. So when you contribute, it's like you have real data to test. It's much more easy. Okay, so that's finishing the technical stuff. Another point, I'm very privacy and security conscious, like over the top. For example, yeah, basically I'm like top 1%, and I'm like a little bit paranoid about it. So in 2023, I conducted a security audit of the OpenStreetMap code base, and I found several issues. Most of them, the most critical ones, have been fixed, but there are many medium and small severity issues that basically I wouldn't be able to accept. So in OpenStreetMap-NG, many of the security issues, not very like important ones, because, for example, the most impactful issue I found in the 2023 is that you could impersonate anyone when in the direct messages chat, because their security for sending direct messages was quite poor. But it was like the biggest. Basically, what I'm trying to say, there's no reason to panic. It's basically for me not okay, but for you, maybe it's okay. And the NG is much more security hardened. It's much more security focused than the existing platform. About account security. On OpenStreetMap, you only have account password, and that's pretty much it. In OpenStreetMap-NG, we are adding two-factor authentication with your telephone, with your YubiKey. We are adding support for passkeys, and there is so much more about what we do about account security. About moderation tools, this is operational security. So currently, a lot of moderation is done manually on OpenStreetMap, and I want to improve that. I want to build better tools for the moderators. So in OpenStreetMap-NG, the star means that it's currently planned. It's nowhere near started development. But I want to bring AI-assisted moderation. So for example, we can detect abusive users. We can basically mark potential vandalism. We can maybe block proactively vandalisms. And that's what what I will try to bring in OpenStreetMap-NG in the future. Privacy, that's also a very important topic to my heart, is that as far as I know, I don't know if anything changed because I haven't looked for half a year. There is no GDPR compliance in OpenStreetMap, and I want to bring GDPR compliance to OpenStreetMap-NG. This is, again, this will be worked on a little bit, maybe later this year. This is still like somewhat into the future. One other big issue, I really don't like big tech. I don't like Amazon, I don't like Facebook, and that's why I like OpenStreetMap. But there is a big issue that all avatars you see on OpenStreetMap are directly connected to the Amazon services. So whenever you open OpenStreetMap, you are always connected to Amazon, and I really don't like that. So in OpenStreetMap-NG, there is no IP leaks. If you connect to OpenStreetMap-NG, you are connecting just to OpenStreetMap-NG. Also, OpenStreetMap is supposed to be a completely open source, but it relies on some proprietary components to have a full running system. One of them being MaxMind GeoIP database. So this IP database basically takes your IP address and assigns you a country. For example, when you visit the OpenStreetMap for the first time, it will show you your country based on your IP. However, OpenStreetMap-NG has a neat trick on that removes completely this proprietary reliance and makes it that even in full setups, you don't have to rely on free services. And it works as on the normal website. Okay, now the community. I said earlier that there are a lot of new features that people have been asking for years coming, and that's true. There is so much to talk about what has been changed that I will just talk about the most maybe impactful stuff. So first of all, the UI has been slightly refreshed. It feels like a little bit more modern, and we are basically, there's a guy in the OpenStreetMap-NG community who's from Brazil, and he's working on some designs. We are getting some inspiration, and we are not afraid to experiment because, again, this is like a new initiative we are building. We can try everything. There is no like a build procedure to that. We are finally, OpenStreetMap-NG is working on the Map Libre. This is a new mapping engine. Are there people from Map Libre here? Because I know there are some presentations about the Map Libre, so maybe I was hoping that would be someone. It's a really nice piece of technology, and this enables us on the OpenStreetMap-NG, I will show it later, to finally have vector tiles. They are very high quality, they are razor sharp, they support 3D rendering. It's really, really cool. Another part, a big part, which is coming to OpenStreetMap-NG is integrated sets of statistics. Because reality is that in OpenStreetMap, you have different sites that are third-party services that show you statistics for country, how many contributors there are. And I want to experiment in OpenStreetMap-NG into bringing them into the platform. So that's what's coming to OpenStreetMap-NG. And we are also building a new API 0.7. Based on my experiences, I kind of know what's working, what's not working on API 0.6. I've been developing for OpenStreetMap websites a little bit. I mean, not officially, I was making tools for OpenStreetMap, so I was working with the API to clarify that. There is this one very common question, which is why I chose Python. It's one of the most popular programming languages. And OpenStreetMap is, when I was introduced to the project, it's like a community project. Everyone can contribute, and currently it's true to the map itself, but I want to make it true to also the project itself. So I want to make it very accessible for even with basic Python understanding, that you can make changes in OpenStreetMap-NG. So that's why I choose Python. And there is usually a very quick follow-up question, but Python is slow. And that's a yes and no question, because in OpenStreetMap-NG, we work smarter and not harder. Python is slow, and the best way to have fast Python is to not write any Python. So we are using very minimal abstractions. The code is very abstraction-free, it's very clean. And whenever we are working on mathematics, on some operations, we offload it to, for example, to NumPy or to Postgres, and we basically avoid doing it in the code. This improves performance, makes the code easier to read because there is less to read. And one new innovation, which is in the Python space, is that the same code base can be run on two different ways. The first standard way, you can run OpenStreetMap-NG in standard Python interpreter. This gives you great diagnostics, but it's a little bit slow. But the same code base, without any changes, can be compiled with Cython pure Python mode, which basically compiles the Python code to C code, which is not as fast as high optimized C code, but it's faster than the interpreted code. On the downside, there is less diagnostics, but this is something we support if we want to reach maximum performance. And there was, about half a year ago, or maybe longer, I don't quite remember, there were some preliminary benchmarks on the OpenStreetMap-NG, very basic stuff. I don't want to put too much attention to it, but it seems like it's working. And there will be more benchmarks when the whole website is more complete. Okay, so the public demo is live. It was launched about almost 2 weeks ago, and it's already stable enough to test and gather feedback. And I want to show you a little bit. Yeah, so let's focus on that. So the first time when you visit OpenStreetMap-NG, there is a big warning that this is public test site, because this is not like an official project. And what you have to click is to first, it's nice if you read the public testing documentation, it will tell you what to do, what not to do. And then when you continue, you have to make sure that you understand what are you about to do, because I don't want to deal with your personal data. I will not, basically, I don't want to be sued. So you have to provide fake data, and we are not sending any emails. Everything will go to the mail openstreetmap.org. I'm sorry, mail openstreetmap.ng. And maybe I can show it because it's quite interesting. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this keyboard. But basically, this is a part of our testing suite that makes it very easy to test the application. Every email that is sent arrives here, and it lets you to view it in HTML, in text. It gives you HTML compliance, as well as spam analysis. So this gives you a good, solid foundation that in the future, if we make changes to the email, we will not break compatibility, we will not do some fishiness, and every email is basically arriving here. So OpenStreetMap-NG, it looks like normal website, but maybe the most impactful, I will talk about the MapLibre stuff. So first of all, we have 3D projection, which means that when you zoom out, you see a properly rendered world instead of the more classical flat, which is distorting the view a little bit. Another point is that we have added the vector. Vector, maybe I will just open Warsaw, capital of Poland. And when the vector tiles are a little bit slow because they run on a free server. This is not some big infrastructure, but they work. And you can see that this is 3D, it's working, and you can do basically anything that. We have also added SU word imagery. We can, basically, we want to make it easier to contribute to the website. And I've added several features that basically make it happen. So I will continue with the presentation. If we have time, I will go back to the live. This is what I wanted to show you most importantly. And there's very important thing, because currently this is an early testing stage of the program, and when I'm making OpenStreetMap-NG, I want to appreciate everyone who's helping. So there is a $5 bounty for providing feedback that leads to the project improvements, and only first 100 testers can qualify for that. There is the link to the project website. When you visit it, and when you OpenStreet the project, you will see the testing guide here, public instance, and in the testing guide at the bottom, you have the information about the bounty. Basically, no matter, I want to appreciate the testers, the contributors. Even if you provide just a small feedback that is sensible, then you will be appreciated. And this is like, thank you to think. Okay, because the project is receiving donations from individuals, from companies, and that's one of the ways I can give back to the community. Yeah. So speaking of that, there is a the investment opportunity, because you can easily join the OpenStreetMap-NG sponsors. Again, this is like a small project. This is an independent initiative. And this is, I would say, low stakes, medium risk, because we are not asking for much. And medium risk, because whatever happens, if the project fails, which means that nothing really comes out of it, if the project succeeds, which would be, it becomes the official OpenStreetMap project, I think those both outcomes are okay. So if you want to support the project, it's something you can do. Here are the current sponsors. The top 3 are the companies, which is Internet Foundation, Cloudflare, which is also the sponsor of this event, and JetBrains, which provides some IDA tools. Sponsors are at the bottom are individuals from the GitHub sponsors and LibrePay, I think that's how it's called. And I want to appreciate everyone who's helping this project, because some people can contribute code, some people can contribute feedback, and some people just want to give money, and I will contribute for that money and maybe assign it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the end. We have 2 more minutes for the live demo. So maybe I will show you a little bit, and then we'll move to the questions. Maybe 1 more minute. Okay. So, for example, on OpenStreetMap-NG, we have added support for the, everyone knows the ID editor, but we've also added support for the Rapid. This is an editor made by Meta. Everything works as expected. Maybe I can show you a little bit more here, because when I open an element, for example, let's open some chain set, and let's open the way, and let's open history. Oh, this is a node actually. I wanted to show you some new visualizations, and I need some way to do it. Because if I open the history, this will basically let you see the way how it was changing over time. And this is one of many new features that are available. I will also show you how the login screens, how the profiles look like, because they're also quite new. We have avatar here, we have background here, and I will open a node because I saw a guy that has a really nice background, and I want to show how it looks. So that's how the profiles look when you upload the background. You have your asset activity. Something we are adding are the groups. So you can build communities directly on the OpenStreetMap-NG, not on other platforms. And this is like your hub for the profile. And I want to basically improve on that. And yeah, okay, so this is perfect 20-minute mark. And I will give you now the time, and you can, yeah.
Thank you very much for the talk.